to TV Talk with Natasha and Kimberly. I am Kimberly. That is Natasha. Say hi, Natasha.
Hi.
And today we have a very special guest with us to talk about Game of Thrones, Llana from BlerdsonNerds and the Nerd Element. Llana, say hi.
Hi.
All right, let's get down to it. Game of Thrones premiered. What day is it? It's Tuesday. It premiered 2 days ago.
That would be Sunday. That would be Sunday.
It would be Sunday. It premiered on Sunday. Today
April 6th.
It did. And unlike myself and Natasha, Llana here just got done watching the first, 2 seasons of Game of Thrones?
Seasons.
Is it 2 or
season
3?
4.
I watched most of season 1 quite some time ago. I just actually watched seasons 2 and 3 most recently.
Ooh, see, it's all fresh in your head. I know because you called me after the Red Wedding.
It still hurts. It still hurts. I know.
I just... Rob. Rob.
His pretty eyes.
The North will not forget.
I was wrong what they did to that boy.
It is. It is wrong what they did to him. And did you hear on this episode what they said they did to his body?
Yo, that was jacked up.
I was like...
What did they do, like chop off his head and put it on top of a pig or something?
No, they took
yes, dire wolf. I'm like, how can you treat a wolf like that in a human body?
And put it on his head. It took the dire wolf's head and put it on his body.
That poor dire wolf. He didn't even have a fighting chance.
Yeah.
That was that episode. Oh gosh.
It was horrific. There's a lot of things about that. You know what I feel myself saying, like every single time I watch Game of Thrones, is, okay, I'm glad this is happening. Where's Khaleesi? I want to see some dragons. Just show me 20 minutes of dragons and I will be happy. And then when they move off the dragons, I want them to go back onto the dragons. And so I'm really interested in that storyline, except for the fact that they replaced her with not second in command, because that other guy's second in command, but they replaced one of her guards. He used to have long hair.
Dario.
Big guy.
Dario.
I kept saying, "Who's that dude?"
I know. I'm like,
I knew it was announced months ago that they replaced the actor that played Dario. So I knew.
They didn't even try to make him look the same. Like,
how about, I don't know everybody's names on Game of Thrones. Are you serious? I know them by face.
I know.
So don't ask me. Like, I know a couple of names, but I don't know who these. I know Khaleesi.
Word.
And the little Lannister dude.
Tyrion.
He's awesome. And I know this dumb king who I want to. Anyways, Jeffrey. Oh, I just realized. I just finally remembered Sansa's name. Oh yeah, that dude, the wannabe Rob. What's his name?
Jon Snow?
Huh?
Or Jon Snow?
Yeah. How did you know who it was if you didn't know he was a wannabe Rob? And
Theon was trying to be a wannabe Rob, and he just failed miserably. In fact, his member got eviscerated because of that.
His member. Womp, womp, womp. Yeah.
And he was not in this episode, of course, so that'll be interesting to see if we even go back to him in the upcoming episodes.
They can't. That's the thing. They can't throw everybody in one episode, though I wish they would. But they can't because they already don't spend enough time on certain people, I think. What I felt was interesting about this particular episode is we see some of that anger that Is it Arya?
Arya,
yeah, has built up, and with good reason. But she's gonna be a force to be reckoned with when she's grown. Maybe in the next 2 years, even. Like, she's got some anger, and she wants to get it all out there. So I'm kind of interested about that storyline.
Yeah, I thought that her trying to get into the fray, so to speak, and actually having the hounds back, yeah, she deserved that horse. and she got her little sword needle back. In fact, the way that she went about doing it was just
scary,
a little creepy, yes. But it's within her showing her anger just at everything, and just, I guess, the situation in which she lost her sword, and the fact that this guy just tortured a little boy for no reason. So she's like, yeah, twofold. What?
For real. And that whole family, like, dynamic is just sad. Like, you know, they're all over the place, and half of them are gone. I still can't believe they killed Ned Stark. Like, I sit there and think about it sometimes.
Like, it still hurts.
Yeah, in the recap, like, right before they showed, you know, the new episode, yeah, they showed him getting his head cut off again. I'm like, that's just wonderful.
When I saw that, I literally was watching it, and I was like, okay, something's going to happen right now, something's going to happen right now. Like, I was in denial. Even when he got his head cut off, I was like, okay, but how are they going to bring him back? Like, I was in denial. I couldn't believe it. And 3 episodes later, I was still like, is this really happening?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean,
Arya had a lot of anger.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
I'm just going to be completely honest and let you know that I thought this episode was a little bit boring as far as what I'm used to, I guess, having watched 2 and 3 so close together. It was very kind of something was happening. I mean, each episode, it was just stuff happening. And, you know, it's the season. I don't know. I guess I was so excited to watch it, or maybe it's because it was after Captain America. I don't know. It could have been a lot of other factors. But I don't know. I kind of expected something like, but I'm guessing, I mean, to be fair, it is the first one, and I know with a show of this magnitude, things have to be set up.
Yeah, that's what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm sure we're going to get into the nitty-gritty, but I mean, I don't know. Just for a season premiere, as excited as I was just kind of like, I literally could have kind of skipped this episode and came in next week, and I wouldn't have missed anything.
But Khaleesi was in this episode. You saw the dragons. They're huge, and she's starting to lose control of them.
Yeah.
So that dynamic,
like,
I'm looking forward to seeing how that's going to play out, because they're growing up, and she's not having the handle on them as she used to when they were small.
Well, yeah, one of them tried to eat her. That was worth it. That was worth it. Because he was like, I know you're not trying to grab my food. That's kind of like the attitude I was getting from the big dragon. Like, I know you're not even trying to get in my business. Like, Mom, back off. That's what it was.
I want to see her grab one when it does that and pull it down and look at it straight in the eyes and be like, who brought you to life?
Do you know that thing is going to open his mouth and eat her head or light her butt on fire? It's gonna...
Maybe or maybe not. I don't know. I'd like to see her take control. Then I'd be like, dude, she's really, that's the one. You know, I'd like to see that happen. But because if she starts losing control now, because they're big, but they're not fully grown.
They're big though. I mean, the one that she was caressing in her lap, that's the biggest one, right? And then the other two are kind of like, I almost feel like the other two are like the younger siblings, and that's like the older.
Yeah, I get that vibe too, and just the fact that it just seems like he's her favorite.
Yeah, they can be killed though, because they're still small. Like, I want some big dragons that can just they can't be like they can just destroy things. And how is she gonna win this war if she's like losing control of them now? I'm like, but she has quite the army.
She needs to get control of her people, first of all.
That's true.
I mean, because we saw in, you know, some previews and stuff for this season that she doesn't even really have control of them. So
it's all foreshadowing. She's losing control of the dragons, blah, blah, blah. That's why I need to see her take control. Because after Rob being gone, I've got, you know, she's my last hope. Everybody else I don't care about.
Yeah, I don't care about anybody else. It's like, if it wasn't going to be Rob, who I would have been perfectly fine with sitting on the Iron Throne, then it's got to be her.
What about Tyrion?
I kind of like Tyrion. I'll give him that, but...
I mean, I like him, not for king, though.
I don't know.
He would be a good king, though, I think.
Yeah, he probably would. But what about Jaime Lannister? Like, wouldn't you? I would have. Oh my gosh, he needed to backhand Joffrey. I'm like, don't talk to your father like
How
that.
about Jaime Lannister has more than one problem?
Yeah, he does.
Okay, can we talk about all the deformities that his children are going to have?
Dude, but his children don't have deformed. Well, Jeffrey's kind of deformed in the head.
Hello?
Oh, yeah.
Did you see what he did to that prostitute when she was strung up on the bed with all the arrows sticking out of her? Just because he can walk straight and has 2 arms and 2 legs does not mean he doesn't have a problem.
Yeah, he has a problem.
Physical imbalance. He's got a problem.
We never see anything about the other kids. Like they sent the girl off.
Yeah.
And
Well, I mean, Cersei's not having any of Jaime right now. She's like, I don't have time for you.
oh, she was like, you were late, or what is it? You took too long. I'm like, ain't
I'm
that?
like, really? He was getting his hand cut off, and Brienne had his back. Like, seriously? I'm shipping
How about
crying out loud.
How about that's her brother?
Yeah, that's her brother, and it's
How about
kind of
that?
and it's gross. But I
How
mean,
about
it's
that's
just
her
like,
brother?
Yeah.
it's
It's just
and it's her
overall
twin
gross.
brother at that.
Yeah, it's her twin brother. Yeah, that's that. Yeah, I'm sorry, that's gross.
Sorry.
I know, right?
How about that's her twin?
Yeah,
Yeah, like he would be better off with Brienne. I'll ship them.
you like her, huh? It's
I
so
do,
funny how people
she's-
react to her.
I like her. I think she can fight, and she just seems like she wants to be loyal to someone. And every person that she's been loyal to, unfortunately, has turned up dead, except for Jaime. So she's done her duty in bringing him back to King's Landing, and now she seems to be sticking around at least for a little while. So I'm just wondering what they're going to do with her character.
Yeah,
I care for a Lannister.
She's definitely interesting. I honestly can't see her with anyone at all. I can't. I think it would be kind of cool. I don't think everybody necessarily has to have a romantic pairing. And I think she's kind of focused on the type of life she wants to live. I can't really see her with anybody at all, but I think that's okay.
I'm not saying it's not. I just wouldn't mind if they happen to go that route. I would not mind.
What, her and Jaime?
Yeah.
Well, he's already twisted in the head. Do you want her with somebody like that?
True, but they seem to have a chemistry.
To get off his sister, so whatever's gonna.
Yeah, exactly. He needs to move away from his sister. So if Brienne is the solution to that, yes.
How about move away from your twin and get your crazy boy?
Check your crazy boy. Yeah, he should have backhanded him with like his gold hand, because that would have been just perfect. Yeah.
Somebody needs to just kill him in his sleep.
When Joffrey finds out that's his dad, what's he gonna do when he finds out that his uncle?
He's already rumored that his dad. Like, can he really be that much in denial?
No, but he won't say. As soon as somebody says anything and it threatens his throne, he'll have him killed. But right now, there's no point in him doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
My second favorite Lannister, Tyrion, of course, being my first, is actually their father.
Tywin
is he is hysterical. Like because he doesn't care, and he just kind of cuts everybody down. Like all of them, all 3 of them. As far as he's concerned, all 3 of them are a hot mess. He's so disgusted with the whole lot of them. It's kind of funny. He's so disgusted with Joffrey, and it's just funny to see kind of like the disdain. I remember especially in season 3 where Joffrey was talking to him about, there was a meetings that they were having, and how come I didn't know about the meetings? And he said, well, they're right over there. And then, he said, well, why didn't anybody he said, well, I'm sorry, something along the lines of, do you want us to move the meetings here? I wouldn't want you to have to walk up the stairs, or something stupid. But just the way he kind of cuts him down and makes him look dumb. I love that. I just
Joffrey's afraid of him too. Like he's the only one that he won't talk like that to his grandfather, which is
he pushes, but then he knows when to stop.
Yeah,
whereas with everyone else, like with Jamie, for example, he can just say whatever he wants and he feels like he can get away with it. And I feel like, again, Jamie needs to set him straight.
Well, you know what? Joffrey realizes that his grandfather is like a decorated, soldier, knight, whatever. And I think he has that respect for him because he knows that it just is not going to be tolerated. And he's the one person, his grandfather might turn around and chop his head off. Like, he doesn't know. He's not sure about him. And I think that's why, there's that modicum of respect. But Jamie really should have popped him with his metal hand. That would have been.
Should have. I mean, I got sick too. I almost threw up a little bit when they were showing that statue, and then they panned to Jeffrey, and he was standing just like he was in that statue, and I'm like, ugh. Somebody destroy that statue.
Yeah, I can't
hate for him. But you know what? So Joffrey's future wife.
Yes, the Targals. Targals. Grandma Targal, I love her.
Me too.
And I felt like she really went toe-to-toe with Tywin, even though she kind of lost that battle, so to speak. She still held her own, and I just love her, and I want to see more of her. And I think the granddaughter is definitely learning a lot from her grandmother, and she's already starting to put that into play as far as her engagement with Joffrey. I mean, just way back in, the past season, how she kind of won the people over. They weren't cheering for Joffrey. They were cheering for her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That whole family is interesting. And then she's got her brother's marrying,
Cersei. Yeah, right.
Yeah. It's just that's hilarious. It's just hilarious to me.
Yeah. So let's talk about the new character that has been introduced, Oberyn. Oberyn. I'll just call him Oberyn. I went blank on his last name. But he's the second son, and he has beef with the Lannisters. And he told an interesting story about how his sister was married to a Targaryen and how she was practically slaughtered by the Lannisters. And apparently there's a theory floating around that Jon's parents, Jon's dad is actually a Targaryen, and his mom was actually Ned Stark's sister. So, yeah.
Whose? Who?
Ned Stark had a sister.
Right.
Apparently.
Who's the kid that you're talking about?
Jon.
Snow?
Uh-huh.
I thought he was Ned's kid.
No.
Why did they call him
It's a theory. I'm not saying for sure whether or not it's true or not, although I did have my suspicions because Ned kind of, there was like a flashback with Ned and Robert, and just them discussing like his sister and just how she was and who she was in love with, because I could have sworn that they mentioned that she was in love with a Targaryen. And Oberyn actually mentioned that his sister's husband was like kind of off to the side with someone, and I'm wondering if that was Ned's sister.
Well, I guess it just depends on who the Targaryen was, no?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Oberyn definitely has some beef, and that scene in the poorhouse, so to speak, yeah, I'm like, I don't want to mess with him. Right? I don't want to mess with him.
That was a little crazy.
A
little bloody there for a second.
It was a little crazy in more than one way.
Yeah. Well, yeah. There was some definitely swapping going on. So, Sansa is still in the picture. I mean, she's still hating on Tyrion, poor thing. It's not his fault that Joffrey or, his granddad kind of ordered her brother to die. I
can't blame her.
I mean, I guess in some ways I know, and it's like, Sansa, really, just talk to Tyrion. I mean, because we know that Tyrion is coming from a good place, and it's just like, I just hate seeing her mad at him when it's not his fault. And
she does not
his
want to
little
sleep with him. Okay, she doesn't.
And he's not forcing her to either. Like, it's not like he's forcing her to. He doesn't want to either. He realizes that she is still a child. He doesn't want to do that. He's being sweet. And so, and his little mistress, she needs to go somewhere. In fact, when I can't remember who offered her the money to go away, she should have taken it. She should have taken it and gone, because she's causing problems. In fact, Cersei's like little maid spy actually saw her leave Tyrion's room, so there's going to be repercussions from that, because she's too fast and she's thinking she is in control of things when really she isn't.
She's going to end up dead or something. I mean, she's going to end up dead, and it's
going to be her fault. So,
you know, the Lannisters pride themselves on repaying debts, and I don't, you know, they let Jaime Lannister go, right? So Mama Stark, as I like to call her,
right.
And what did she get for it? Or she got her throat slashed. So it's just like, and nobody really addressed that. I mean, because they're all about paying their debts, and they didn't.
I think at the time they just weren't sure if Jaime was alive, because I think there was stuff floating around that Jaime wasn't alive. So
I know, but they should address it. He should have gone and said something and just been like, "Look, this shouldn't have happened. This is what she did," and or it could be a way to pardon the rest of the kids out there, because everybody still doesn't know if Arya is really alive or dead.
Well,
but
same
that's
thing
the least
with
they can do.
Rickon and was it Bran?
Yeah, but they think that they're dead because they took those other two kids and burned them and hung them, so they think that they're dead. But
there's just several of them that everyone thinks the other's dead, or just somewhere so far away that there's no way that they can even come to even remotely assist them. So it's kind of like they have to think they're on their own. Arya with the Hound, Sansa in court, Bran and Rickon, even Bran separated from Rickon because he's trying to find out what's going on outside the wall, and Jon is trying to let's get to Jon now that we're talking about him, with the Night's Watch, and he told the truth, especially the fact that he had sex with Ygritte, but the fact that he infiltrated them. And he knows what they're going to do, and they're planning on attacking the wall, and these buttholes are just like, well, you broke the rules, you need to die. And the only sensible one is like, look, he's telling the truth. I would rather follow his advice than be blindsided. So, and the man's blind. So I don't know.
Yeah, the wall's just... I mean, I'm like, what? The wall. I don't even know.
Oh, and that gross scene with the wildlings. Oh.
Well, the wildlings they're gross to begin with.
Well, they're wildlings.
Well, I mean, it seems like Ygritte's group was at least eating like animal meat and not
cannibals.
Being cannibals. Yeah, exactly. So
cannibalism never good. It's never a good thing.
It's not a good sign. And in fact, it seemed to be that it was a crow or, someone from the Night's Watch that they were eating. So, yeah, that's no.
I don't like Ygritte.
Yeah.
She's just a little annoying.
She works my last nerve. She really... Jon Snow. Oh, shut up. Shut up.
Next.
It's like the only purpose that she served was so Jon would finally get some. And he needed his own sex scene. I'm sorry.
You are harsh. You are harsh.
She's not lying. Okay. It's true.
Yeah, I don't particularly care for her either. I'm not so interested in seeing this war between the wildlings and like the wall. I'm interested in seeing what's happening with the White Walkers.
Yes, definitely.
And everybody else, like, have them attack the wall. I would like to see that battle.
Well, again, I don't think the wildlings are all. Their only concern is the Night Watch and them getting over the wall, so that they can probably potentially conquer Westeros. at least that's what I'm thinking their end game is. Like, they want to not be regulated to beyond the wall and dealing with the White Walkers. They want to come in where it's green land and, like, maybe they can create, like, farms or something instead of having the Night's Watch just kill them if they decide to go over the wall. And so, unfortunately, everyone seems to be ignoring the White Walkers, but Stannis and his little Melisandre seems to be at least in the know as far as the potential that the White Walkers could pose a threat. And so, yeah, they seem to be the only ones at this point.
Where are they? Like, where are
they? They didn't show them in this episode. They're probably going to show them next week.
It's like, are they marching towards anything, or are they just sitting around? Like, where are they? I'm tired of waiting.
I don't know.
I want to see them come out, and then I want to see a dragon fly over the wall, and I want to see the dragon with the fireball, and then all the White Walkers die. This is how it happens in my head.
Yeah, I mean, the dragons are definitely going to be important against the White Walkers for sure, but then everyone is going to have to, like, pause on the throne and just deal with the White Walkers, and then you can resume with whatever feuds y'all got going. Because otherwise, everybody's going to get destroyed before they realize that the White Walkers just took over.
Well, and it's really interesting because when you see, like, the opening and it goes through the different lands, specifically the ones that are going to be dealt with in that episode, they're not close to each other.
No, they're not.
At all. So it's like, oh my gosh, this might take forever.
Yeah.
But
yeah, Dany's like across the ocean, practically. So she still has a long way to go.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, it's gonna take her forever, and she's gonna have to wrangle them across the ocean and some people, and they're like, "Mother, we're hungry," blah blah blah. And she's like, "Dragons," and it's just. Oh, it's gonna take forever.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm just wondering how that whole ship thing's gonna work. I mean, are they just gonna swim in the ocean and just fish?
18,000 people. She's trying to get them across the sea.
She's gonna have to convince somebody to give her ships.
Convince? She's gonna have her little dragons go over there and be like, "Give me a ship, or someone burn your city down."
Hijack a ship.
Oh, ships.
If she can wrangle them in and stop, then they need to, like, behave in order for her to do that.
Yeah, she's walking around. She's like, "I'm the queen. I'm the queen, mama. I'm the queen. I'm the queen. I'm the queen." Meanwhile, they don't know that her dragons are about to run her. I like her though. She's still. I mean, if it wasn't going to be Rob, then it's got to be her. So I would have liked Rob.
Yeah, me too. All right. Well. I don't know. We will see what's coming up soon. I mean, I'm still excited for the season because I love this show. It's one of my favorite shows. So
yeah, and they need to get back to a few people that they didn't mention in the first episode. So yeah,
that is true. So Llana, are you going to be joining us again for Game of Thrones? I'm putting you on the spot.
If you invite me, you know what? But I'm gonna just crash because I can, because I'm a co-founder. That's what Kim said.
Yeah. I did happen. I happen to say that. I happen to say that.
So when I see Llana, I'll be like, "Oh, hey!"
Right? Well, Llana, go ahead and tell everybody where they can find you.
You can find me with an occasional video on the Nerd Element YouTube page. I have a new vlog coming soon. I've got an idea. Look out for that. Also on the nerdelement.com. Also on the BlerdsonNerds podcast, available on Stitcher Radio and iTunes.
Yay!
Oh, and I have a Twitter, and it's at Marshallana, but I don't tweet that much, but you can follow me.
Natasha?
You can find me at WillCat12, at the Nerd Element, of course on the YouTube channel, and on our website. I do write some articles occasionally.
Right. You can find me at Anime23, every once in a while at the Nerd Element. I do not write. I'm ruthless.
See, that needs to change, Kim. That needs to change.
I know. I'm on some videos on the YouTube channel, but everything can be found on www.thenerdelement.com, our website that just got up and running. So check that out, guys, and we'll see you again with some Game of Thrones talk. All right, Llana, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.